Jerry?
I have a fault on Omicron 4. I checked out the reception circuits and they're nominal, so the fault's on the satellite. Would you let Tom Hill know?
He's at the reception for those Russian VIPs. Do you want me to call him?
Oh, all right for some. No, get a message to him when you can. When he comes out will do, if he's still sober.
But General Jenkins, the duplication that goes on up here is idiotic and wasteful.
Pooling our resources, only sensible thing.
The Soviet and Euro governments decide which projects each will undertake.
But acting on our recommendation.
Well, I am willing to raise the matter at our next conference.
Well, if you'd like to add that the idea has already been discussed by the Eurospace Assembly, who feel it's well worth following up, please do.
Oh, excuse me. Dmitry Pavlovich, пожалуйста, походите сюда. You will excuse the interruption, Dr. Smith.
It was good of you to spare the Colonel for so long.
Professor Calder, may I introduce Colonel Dmitry Pavlovich Gararov.
My honor to meet you, sir.
Believe me, Colonel, the pleasure is mine. May I introduce Tom Hill?
At last I meet you, Tom.
Oh.
The greatest cosmonaut in the world, this man.
No, Dmitri, that honor's yours.
When I was training as a cosmonaut, the walls of my room were covered in photographs of Tom Hill. And in class, when we were given problems to solve, I would always ask myself, in this situation, what would Tom Hill do?
Have a drink. Sir, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Dmitri, Helen.
Thank you, Sandy. Tom?
Well, thank you, David. Thanks.
Thank you, Dick.
To you, Dmitri, on the success of Mosakaya.
Oh, yes.
Marsokaya.
Come with me, Tom.
Oh, 10 years ago, I'd have grabbed my toothbrush.
Oh, today also. You agree, Comrade Director? Hill and Gararov. Gararov and Hill. The Castor and Poags of space.
Oh, I'm sorry, Colonel. I can't spare our twin for a couple of years.
I doubt whether my wife would be very happy about it either. When's the launch date?
Tomorrow week.
Soon?
May I ask the plan?
You'll excuse us.
Excuse me, please. Thank you.
We are 5 of us as a crew. We travel in a Mars 1. Mars 2 and 3 are the laboratories. No one is aboard them.
And you're controlling them from one?
Yes. At planetary encounter, 1, 2, and 3 will link up to form the orbital station. Then we assemble Marsokaya and take it down to the surface of Mars.
As simple as that?
Yes.
How long are you going to stay there?
3 months. Then we return to the station and take the ferry back here.
That's quite a trip.
Yes, 10 years of preparations for Dmitry Pavlovich. 3 years of simulation.
That triple docking must be fun.
The first maneuver, docking 1 into 2,
Oh, sure.
is normal. But then you've got to take the combined vehicle and dock it into 3.
And the field, the power required, everything's different.
Yes. Comrade Director would like me to stay in bed until that moment.
Because the success of the entire project depends on it. Get yourself hurt before then and...
What will Marsokaya have cost when they get back?
100,000 million euro dollars. But of course we shall have Marsokaya and the orbital station in place.
Oh, of course, yes.
Excuse me, Tom. Communications asked me to pass on a message. Omicron 4 has ceased transmission.
Oh, no.
Oh, not again. Well, Dmitri, it looks like I may have a ride after all. Oh, Omicron's a weather satellite we maintain.
Where is it?
Oh, it's just down the road, about 37,000 kilometers above the Earth. Want to come along?
Yes.
Yet!
Dead as the proverbial. And no wonder it's been on station for the best part of 8 years. It's just held together by sticky tape and chewing gum.
We've got plenty of that in stores.
Yeah, well, the truth is, Omicron 4 has just about had its day.
Oh, Tom. You know the situation we're in. The Director General's demanding results, and what have we given him so far? Narbental, the other 2 boys killed, partners of fate, Conway's suicide, and a shelved radio astronomy project. Now, let's not have to tell him that something else is up the spout.
All right. I'll try and fix Omicron.
Well, there's no need for you to go. I mean, send one of the others with a technician.
Oh, no. Talking to Dimitri's giving me a hankering. I'll go. Save your technician's time.
All right, very good.
Could you get me a flat pen, please? We've got a nerve, you know.
Huh?
Proposing joint operations with the Russians with hardly $2 to our name.
but get them to participate just once in any project, and I'll shame better appropriations for us from the Assembly.
By demonstrating just how much of a poor relation we are.
Right.
Yeah, but Marsukaya will prove that point soon enough.
Apart from a congratulatory telegram to the Kremlin, it'll be ignored.
Marsukaya? You can't ignore it.
You can if you're not financially involved, but get the Assembly on a hook. That's something else again.
Involving pride.
Yes, which in turn involves face saving when we turn on the screws.
Oh, you got it all worked out, haven't you?
I lie in my bed at night, scheming. But success depends on Moonbase functioning, no matter how little money's available. So, get Omicron working again, Tom.
Comrade Director Trenkin's no match for you. I can see that.
It's just that I question David's ability to contain Trenkin.
Keep him in line. Why?
Well, David's basically a research scientist, not an administrator, which Trenkin is.
You feel the administration here is not all it should be.
I'm afraid so.
Others could do better.
Yes, a professional administrator, like Trenkin.
So, in any joint operations, you see the Russians putting us down.
Now, you know that I esteem David highly. But let me pose you a question. Could you have taken Marsukaya from its inception and brought it to this moment?
Possibly not.
There you are, then.
He'd have been bored ages ago.
And such a project is not possible.
You and Trenkin are intrigued by the grand design.
But not David.
For him, it's the component parts.
Well, they concern me also.
But subordinate to the overall scheme.
Of course.
For David, it's the reverse.
Well, he has to compromise what he wants to achieve all the time.
Oh, Michel, some of the time.
You think that makes one a better administrator?
Perhaps not.
I think it's just making additional problems for oneself.
Well, I won't deny that.
A project like Marsukaya has problems enough as it is. No, Doctor. The grand design must be the administrator's first concern. Always.
Engine gimbal set to zero inclination and locked. EDS checks complete. Updates are in. The computer's yours.
We have the computer. Program 00 and accept. Disk is in verb 40.
Final liftoff pad, Tom.
Ready to copy.
Bus A and B on, refsmat 003151000, minus 5 plus 23.
Okay. Yes,
Engine
fine.
override arm off, time base 6 all zeros, hypergolics 9899, pressures are nominal. On my mark, minus 20. Mark.
Mark 20. Bus A and B on. Refsmat 003151000, minus 5 plus 23. Engine override arm off, time base 6 all zeros, hypergolics 9899, pressures are nominal.
Have a good ride, Tom.
Thanks, David.
Stand by for internal power and hypergolic disconnect. 3, 2, 1, mark.
All systems nominal, Tom.
Copy.
Liftoff minus 5. On my mark. Mark. 4, ignition, 2, 1. Liftoff, you have liftoff. Plus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Radar lock on. You're looking good.
Is all systems continuing nominal, Tom?
Looks good from here as well.
Moon orbit insertion at plus 70305.
Affirm.
Plus 20, you're looking good.
Went well?
Aye, no problems.
Marsukaya has been in touch with communications.
What can we do for Comrade Trenkin?
He wants you to have dinner with him.
30 seconds international system.
Tomorrow.
Hear that, Tom?
You'll have to watch your step then, won't he?
Cigar?
No, thank you.
These areas of cooperation, which do you propose?
In all the moon studies, cosmic radiology, radio astronomy and the Earth satellites, solar flare study.
The local projects.
Well, at the moment, we have no plans for further deep space probes.
We have.
Oh?
Based on the findings of the American Sputnik released in '78.
Grand Tour? The Jupiter, Saturn,
Only the
Uranus, and...
first leg is of interest to us. When Marsukaya is on station, we shall use it as a springboard to Jupiter.
Manned flight?
Yes, orbital.
Are you inviting us to participate?
Would you be interested?
On what basis?
Shared costs?
Estimated at?
Total $700 million. That's 350 million each. Cheap for you. We've already paid for Marsukaya.
How about letting the Americans in as well?
Troika in space? No. If your assembly declines, we shall go to the Americans. If the Americans decline, we'll go to Jupiter alone.
I'll put the feelers out.
The crossing from Mars to Jupiter will require men of courage, capable of controlling the ship in the proton storms. There's the voyage for Castor and Pollux.
The old devil.
Hi, and Tom, he sat there with this smirk on his face, talking 350 millions apiece.
Yeah, knowing damn well we can't afford it.
And hinting broadly, if it's not us, it'll be the Yanks.
Have you spoken to the Director General yet?
No.
Can you imagine his reaction when David says he wants an extra 350 million?
You don't see what's so funny about that.
What are you going to do about it?
String Trenkin along. Play for time.
Do you really think there's a hope in hell of us ever getting that money?
Yes? Don't ask me how, it's a hunch, but ask at the right time and we'll get it.
Be a fantastic trip. For somebody.
Taking a craft to the proton winds?
They knocked Grand Tour about a bit.
Yeah, I know, but it only weighed about 500 kilos. It was like a dinghy in a gale. Matsukaya must be at least 20 times heavier.
Like a small yacht in the same gale.
Yeah, well, you let the astronauts worry about that. You just concentrate on getting the money.
Yeah.
Well, I'm for some sleep. You going to be around for docking tomorrow?
Oh, of course. Any problems so far?
No, I got a caution and warning on my EVA hatch a while back, but no, it's cleared itself, though.
Oh, fine. Night then, Tom.
Pleasant dreams.
I'll let you analyze them in the morning. Good night.
Good night.
Flight. I have Omicron 4 on scan, range 1,000 meters
now,
plus.
thank you.
Your acquisition.
Firm acquisition, Tom. So we have it on the screen here. You're giving us a clear image.
You can go manual now if you want.
Right. Tom, we'll release you to manual flight control when you're ready.
Fine, Ra. Ready when you are.
Copy. Releasing you to manual control with computer override on my mark. Mark.
Copy manual control. All systems nominal.
Copy, Tom. 5.
Omicron bears red 005 at 3,110 meters, accelerating to close at 30 meters per second. Estimate Omicron at 103.6 seconds, braking procedure and terminal phase at 90 seconds.
30 meters per second to close, time lapse 103.6. Braking station, keep at 90. Repeater readout confirms.
Which of the docking bays are you going for, Tom? Left or right?
I'll go left, Ra.
Copy, Tom.
40, range now 1,900 meters, bearing constant on red 005.
Morning, Tom. Sleep well?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
How were the dreams?
Oh, I made a sensational discovery.
In 50,
Oh.
range
Yes?
now 1,600.
Columbus was a Russian.
How did you find that out?
Well, because I was there to meet him when he stepped ashore at San Salvador.
Oh, yeah.
We'll discuss that one when you return.
In 60, range now 1,300 meters, bearing continuous constant on red 005. 30 seconds to deceleration, Mark.
Mark 30.
You're right on the money, Tom. Just hang her in like that.
He should be doing better things than mending Syncon
In 70,
satellites.
range now 1,000 meters.
Keep your fingers crossed for Jupiter. He'll train the crew.
Oh, Michel thinks that our people in Brussels lack the imagination for such a design.
Oh, I'm not so sure. They built Moonbase 3, launched the Venus probe.
80, range now 700
I might
meters,
convince
bearing
them yet.
continuous constant on red 005. 10 seconds to deceleration.
No.
From my mark. Mark.
Mark 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Decelerate.
Moving lateral left.
Docking. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Flight. I have a problem. Full power surge.
On manual?
Negative.
Give me a reader. Tom, affirm your heart docked.
Yeah, the gas permanently and pitching.
Corrected.
I can't. The helium pressure's all the way down.
0.2, nothing.
Tom, David, give us a few minutes to work on this one.
Sure, David.
And check your docking latches.
Copy that.
Deceleration, lateral left maneuver. Here it is, a transient.
Transient?
A ghost signal on Tom's computer.
Yes, well, they happen sometimes. We just don't know why. An electronic impulse is set up which gives a rogue command.
And this one fired full power?
What's maximum velocity in the hypergolics?
158,400 meters per second.
And the combined load?
10 tons, 8 for Omicron, 2 for the craft.
Full power was 1.19 seconds.
0.19 would have been enough
To do what?
to push Tom out of Earth orbit into deep space.
Flight.
Copy, Tom.
Calder's still there.
Here, Tom.
David, I'm jammed down. I can't open them.
What about your EVA hatch?
Yeah, you remember that caution and warning?
Yes?
It's back. The hatch is jammed too. So it looks like I'm stuck in this tin can. The way I see it, I get to be going off to Mars.
No, not on, Tom. I'll need you to train the Jupiter crew.
Yeah, well, that'll have to wait till I get back from my private grand tour.
Well, I'm sorry it can't. Now, we'll work something out. I'll come back to you later. Stay on comm with him. All the time.
Yes, of course.
I'll be in my office.
Flight. Flight.
Radio, Tom.
I'm cutting down on all non-essentials. That includes the TV transmission. It eats up too much juice.
Copy, Tom.
He's moving away from us at the rate of 12,000 kilometers an hour.
Does his trajectory give us an intercept?
Lift off in 12 hours. Interception at 718,400 kilometers.
A full power ride.
Yeah.
Then he's lost.
Why do you say that?
Well, the only craft we have is service of 4, similar to Tom's. Its maximum capacity to a given point and back with maneuvers is 1.5 million kilometers.
Which gives us a 31,000 kilometer overlap.
Theoretically,
All right, then halve it, say 16,000 kilometers.
at an escape speed of 12,000, that's just over an hour to dock, rescue Tom, and start the flight home. It can't be done.
Calder,
Yes, sir.
I want service of 4 on the pad, please. Maximum range state, and I want her ready for liftoff in 12 hours.
Very well, sir. Who's crewing her, sir?
I'll let you know.
Right, sir.
We would all like to see Tom saved. I do not believe it's possible.
You've got the next 12 hours to convince me.
To begin with, he cannot open the docking latches. His EVA hatch is jammed. He is trapped inside the ship.
There must be something he can do. Repair the hatches or free the latch.
It's not practical.
Look, when something goes wrong here, who do we scream for?
Well, here there are workshops and equipment. There he has practically nothing in less than 12 hours.
More than that, Michel.
Well, that's the time of your proposed liftoff.
The journey will take at least another 40 hours.
You will launch without being certain you can leave the craft?
Of course.
So, next difficulty. The craft and satellite are pitching.
I know that.
Well, do you know what you ask of a rescuer?
That to lock onto Omicron, he must station keep with meticulous accuracy.
Well, who do we have here capable of such a maneuver? Bertolli, Hoffman, Fraser?
I'll speak to Bill Jackson. The Americans will help.
And not with all their top astronauts engaged testing their new proton engine. You cannot send any of our people. You'd be demanding of them more than you have a right to ask.
There'll be no orders. It'll be a matter of volunteering.
But the ultimate responsibility rests with you.
Naturally.
The possibility of failure is too high.
That's the risk I run.
Well, suppose your would-be rescuer gets a hang-up on docking and joins Tom on that journey to deep space. Do you appreciate the damage it would do to the entire Moonbase project?
I would try to minimize it.
Oh, why even chance it?
Because Tom's situation is still recoverable.
On paper. The irony of the situation is that the one man who could effect such a rescue is in fact the victim.
No. There's one other. Colonel Dmitry Gararov.
Do you believe Trenkin will let him go?
If we're sufficiently persuasive.
Remember, he'd like Gararov to stay in bed and keep out of harm's way.
There's no risk involved.
Tom was pitching.
For a man of Gararov's experience, docking would be about as difficult as opening a door.
But Trenkin's got the decision.
Yes.
No.
For a man like Gararov,
No.
the training he's had, the Mars-Sokaya link-up,
Your spacecraft, he doesn't know.
it's a 2-day ride. It'll give him time to get the feel of her.
Niet.
Gararov would want to go.
Gararov does not command.
You want us to work with you on the Jupiter shot?
Yes.
Then work with us now.
Put yourself in my place. What you ask is impossible. On Gararov depends the success of Mars-Sokaya, and that cannot be jeopardized for one man's life.
Don't you have confidence in Gararov's ability to save Tom?
Of course I do. But it is a risk I can't afford to take. Nor have I the authority to let him go. For that I would need the approval of the Kremlin, and that you would not receive in the time necessary to save your Mr. Hill.
There's some movement on the top latches, Rao. The rest is solid.
Not to worry, Tom. Calder's organizing a rescue.
He'll be lucky. I'm shutting down on all non-essentials again.
Just conserve your energy, Tom. Like the ships, you may need it later.
How much longer to go?
A couple of hours. A bit more.
Yeah, they've had service of 4 on the pad for over an hour.
Rao, do you think Tom's had it?
The last time anything like this happened was the old director, Ransom.
If you were in Trenkin's shoes, wouldn't you do the same? I know I would.
Calder,
Tom Hill on comm for you, sir.
visual?
No, sir.
Put him through to here, please.
Switching, sir.
Yes, Tom.
I've been thinking. Rao says you're planning a rescue.
That's right.
Well, I don't know what you have in mind, David, but just forget it.
But there's still time to reach you, Tom.
No, there's no way of prizing these sardine cans apart.
Have you found the cause of the jamming?
Yeah, well, there was a play in one of the engine gimbal locks. Not much, but it was enough to wedge me in out of alignment. Short of straightening me up from the outside with the sledgehammer, David, there's nothing you can do.
But if that's the only way to do it, Tom, that's what we'll do.
No, David. There's no point in trying. I've accepted that. It was an accident.
But if service...
It happened. I wish it hadn't. Hazard of the trade. But I'm okay about it, really. Listen, David. I mean, if you do make a rescue bid and it goes badly wrong, you know that's going to leave you pretty short on hardware at Moonbase.
Oh, to hell
I'll have
with
a lot
that.
of explaining to do at Brussels. No, as I said, David, I'm okay about it.
I'll come back to you, Tom.
Copy, David.
How long have we got?
2 hours, 5 minutes.
Tom is right, David. You must face it.
I can't. It's as simple as that. I can't.
Even though he's told you he's trapped inside the ship?
The latches won't open from Tom's side. They might from the satellite.
Well, a rescuer would need to open them. As well as docking against the pitching satellite, helping Tom out, and backing away, all in the space of 1 hour. It's a physical impossibility.
How do you know that? Nobody's tried.
And when they do try, and fail, when another life and another ship has been sacrificed...
What are you really worried about, Michelle? Tom's life or balancing the books? Oh. Come in. I was hoping you'd come.
I hear Tom is in trouble.
Yes, Colonel, he is.
I will go and fetch him.
And Marcel Kaya?
It won't go without me.
You'll be back in plenty of time for the launch. Patch me into Tom Hill's circuit.
Right away, sir.
Tom?
Yes, David.
Someone to speak to you.
It's Dimitri. I am coming to fetch you.
Does Trenkin know?
We'll discuss the difficulties during the voyage. Work out our plan.
Does the comrade director know?
I am here, Tom. And he is in Lunokaya.
Engine gimbal set to 0 inclination and locked. EDS checks complete. Updates are in. The computer's yours, Colonel.
When will you notify
I have
Brussels?
the computer.
Immediately after he's taken off.
00 in
All hell will break loose.
Yes, I know.
40.
Good luck, Colonel.
Thank you, sir. And my regards to Comrade Trenkin.
Stand by for internal power and hypergonic disconnect. 3, 2, 1, mark.
All systems nominal, Colonel.
I copy.
Liftoff -5. On my mark. Mark.
4, ignition, 2, 1.
Liftoff. You have liftoff, Colonel.
All systems continuing nominal, Colonel.
Nominal from here also.
Moon orbit insertion at +84305.
Yes.
He's on his way, Tom.
Recall him.
That's impossible.
Remember, I refused you permission to use him.
Officially, which I understood, but he volunteered.
That makes no difference.
Well, I misunderstood. I took it as a tacit agreement on your part.
Would I do that? Having explained to you the immense importance of Gararov to the success of Marsokaya?
You also expressed your confidence in his ability to save Tom. Now, it never occurred to me that he was volunteering without your knowledge.
This matter will be dealt with at the very highest level.
Our assembly is aware of what's happening.
Your government as well, I trust. And my government will be discussing it with him.
Amicably, I'm sure, as there could be no doubt about the outcome, although, naturally, I do accept full responsibility.
When I reach you, Tom, I go outside and inspect the jamming, yeah?
Yeah, fine. But how are you going to shift it?
What ideas have you had?
Good belt on the side with a sledgehammer.
And if I were to nudge you?
You just pushed me away. Oh, wait, though. What about the satellite stabilizer jets?
We must use them.
Yeah, they're not very powerful, but, well, they could stop you pushing me away. I mean, you know, make that nudge more effective.
With the pitching, their effective help will be diminished.
Yeah, I'll give it a squirt now, see if I can feel it. Clyde,
Yes, we heard you, Tom. Latitudinally or longitudinally?
you choose. See if I can tell which one it was.
Copy. Stand by. On my mark. Mark.
Lateral right.
On the button, Tom.
Hey, Dimitri. This idea could work.
Marvelous. Work out exactly where I must strike, Tom. Burn and velocity.
Okay, I'll do my homework.
What do they think they're in, dodgem cars?
You have risked all of this, all of us, on the off chance that Tom Hill can be saved. I don't understand.
Mine's nothing to the gamble Gararov's taken.
Well, him too is just not logical.
Frequently, friendship isn't. Calder?
Communication Centre, sir. Director General Brussels on Channel 74. Scrambler.
Very good. Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, Calder. Summon your deputy, would you please?
Dr. Lebrun is here.
Good. Put him on, will you?
Yes, sir.
As from this moment, Lebrun, you are in command of Moonbase 3. Under no circumstances is Calder to play any further role in this rescue attempt.
No, that's damned unfair on Lebrun. Let me finish what I started. At least if it goes wrong, it's just my neck. Now you're making it his as well.
I am sorry, but the Russians insist that you have nothing more to do with it.
I'm fully prepared to accept the responsibility, sir.
Good, Lebrun. Let me talk to Calder again, would you please?
Yes.
David, why in heaven's name did you do it?
1, I like him. 2, you need him here. And 3, Gararov can save him. And will.
You'd better be right. Anyway, it's out of your hands now. I'm relying on Lebrun to salvage what he can.
Come in.
I've just been listening to Tom and Dimitri talking to each other.
Yes, what's the latest?
Well, Dimitri's going to do a spacewalk to inspect the jamming. Then they're going to try and correct the alignment with a controlled collision.
What? Well, how?
By using Omicron stabilizer jets to stop the swing away on impact.
Equal and opposite. Wow, that's ingenious.
It's insanity. I shall stop them.
You?
I've been relieved. He's in command.
Gararov may approach the satellite and do his spacewalk, but there will be no collision.
First sent up here as director, I was scared. Obscure academic, odd job boy for the government. And what qualifications were they for a job like this? And Michel was already here, the complete space-age technocrat. Then there was Tom Hill, as at home in space as a fish in the sea. But after a while, I began to understand why I was appointed instead. You see, Tom's role here is to keep us alive and functioning in a totally alien environment. Michel, he organizes our efforts so that our strength isn't wasted. It would be unfair to ask them to fight our fights as well. Now, that's how I've always seen myself up here, you see. As a buffer. You know, a go-between.
It's not Michel's idea of a good administrator.
Obviously not.
He prefers Trenkin style.
Oh.
What do you think will happen tomorrow?
That's one hell of a question to ask.
Oh, I didn't mean Dimitri and Tom. I was talking about you.
Me? A quiet little research lab on a tracking station in the Western Isles.
I doubt that.
Oh, my dear lady. I'm for the chop. Make no mistake about that. I don't mind. What I did was right. That's what matters.
Dimitri, we're reading the combined vehicle at 6 kilometers. Do you confirm?
Flight, you receiving a picture of me from Dimitri's ship?
Copy that, Tom. Affirm.
Well, feed it to me, please, will you?
What's your fuel cell state, Tom?
Well, I'm okay on receive for a while. Wouldn't want to transmit, though.
Dimitri, you're closing target at velocity 62 meters per second, time there in 100 seconds. Deceleration in 60 seconds. On my mark. Mark.
Mark 60.
Do you have your picture, Tom?
Yeah, I have a good picture. Hey, I can see the pitch. Glad I won't have to look at it for long. I'll be seasick.
Deceleration in 50 seconds.
What do you think, Dimitri?
Interesting, Tom. Should be fun.
40 seconds to deceleration.
I'd like to speak to Colonel Gararov.
Trenkin?
It is vital.
Speak to him, sir.
You're now in charge.
Yes.
I must speak to Colonel Gararov.
30 seconds to deceleration. Mark.
Very well, briefly.
Товарищ полковник, я вам приказываю в имени советского правительства...
In English, please, sir. All communications must be in English.
Break away, Colonel. The collision maneuver is too dangerous. Break away.
20 seconds to deceleration. Mark.
Commander Director, you command in Lunokaya, I command here. First I go outside and look if I can breathe the jamming good. If not, we are going ahead with the collision.
10 seconds to deceleration. Mark.
9,
9,
8,
That's it then.
7,
No one can stop them.
6,
LeBron can still stop the collision.
3, 2, 1.
Decelerate. Dimitri, as you stabilize, we'll lock you in on our computer here.
I copy.
30 seconds to target.
Mark 30.
When do you want to switch to manual, Dimitri?
At 10 seconds to target.
Copy.
20 seconds to target. Mark.
Your mean should be about 50 meters off target.
I copy.
10 seconds to target. Mark.
You have control, Dimitri.
8,
Thank you.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over target.
You see, he's got the craft at a fixed distance from the satellite, which is... What he has to do now is to roll at the same speed and relative to one another. They're stationary.
Plus 18, plus 30, plus 40, plus 40, plus 20, plus 12, plus 2, plus 6, plus 10, plus 4, plus 3, plus 2, plus 1, 0, plus 1, 0, 0.
Look on roll, please.
Roll locked on, 0.
Okay, Tom?
Fine, Dimitri.
Good. Now I come out and take a look. Maybe there is an easier way to get you out of your tin can.
Oh, I doubt it. But you're welcome to try.
Exiting the spacecraft now, Tom. I'm just about to come across.
Always pleased to see company, Dimitri.
my way over to you now. Tom, I have just arrived on the hull. Do you hear me?
Loud and clear. Don't kick a hole in it.
I'm taking a look at the docking port now. Since I'm here, I will also examine the other side.
Don't think you'll get much joy.
I think you are right, Tom. There is nothing much I can do from here. I shall return to my ship. Back inside now, Tom.
Okay, now what?
We are going ahead with the collision maneuver as planned.
Are you sure you still want to try it?
But naturally, Tom. What else?
You must stop them.
So first, I must position myself. I will approach you laterally in the plane of pitching. Okay?
Fine, Dimitri. I'm not going anywhere.
Distance off, please.
10 meters. 9, 8, 7.5, 7, 6.5, 6.
Lock pitch.
Pitch locked on. 6 meters.
Ready to go, Tom?
Right. I shall want a half second, 2.2 degree left gimbal burn at 0.0006 efficiency at 1 meter.
Very well.
I'm monitoring.
Closing.
Gently. 1 meter. You're on station.
My jet pods will be full power, such as it is.
You give the command, Tom.
No, I forbid it. The craft will break up. they will be both killed. For Hill, that has been inevitable since the accident. But for Garrar to die like this, it's waste. It's a murderous criminal waste.
Flight, let me know when you're ready to fire.
Dr. Lebrun.
If we don't fire the satellite's stabilizer motors, what will happen?
Well, the collision will simply push Tom's ship to one side. To be effective, the push must be resisted.
Flight, did you get that?
You have the final control from here.
Yes, the satellite's jets.
If the firing button is pressed, you will tie up a research project that has taken us years and has cost us $100,000 million.
Possibly.
And around your ears, as well as corners, will arrange an international political scandal. You have the chance to call it off.
Flight, are you reading me?
Pass the word. Fire when ready.
Durak.
When you're ready, Tom.
Right. Fire on my mark. Mark.
Separation. Tom? Tom?
It worked, Dimitri. They're free.
I will look to Omicron and pick you up, Tom.
What's this?
Only the best bubbly for this occasion. Calder?
Brussels on channel 74. No scrambler.
Very good.
The Director General.
Sir.
Ah, Calder. Magnificent. Congratulations to everyone concerned. The Russians are particularly delighted. Eve of Masakaya, all that publicity. There's some possibility of cooperation on some future project. Paolo Lecchia's off to Moscow next week for preliminary discussions.
Lecchia? Well, I'm delighted to hear that, sir.
Yes, David, you can be very proud of your team.
You mean Lebrun's team?
No. Executing your decisions. The Assembly should have known better than to think that a change of command would automatically bring about a shift in direction. I told them so. Your team has one essential quality, I said, loyalty. Unless a man than Lebrun might have panicked and made an alternative decision. And that might not have gone down so well for us here. Anyway, congratulations to you all.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, David.
Goodbye, sir. Cheers.
Cheers.
Alexis?
And the grand design?
Now, what could I do? Gararov refused to break away. Regardless of Trenkin, he was determined to try. His only chance of success was that I support him.
A matter of logic.
Well, yes.
They are there, my director. Castor and Pollux. Will they ever fly together again?
I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Zdrowie.
Yechida?
Now what's worrying you?
Well, before our distinguished guest arrives, wouldn't it be good to have a tidy up? All around here is covered with this rubbish.
He won't notice. He's too old.
On the British unmanned landing of 93. The English are a nation of litter bugs.
Go to hell.
Luna Kaya calling you, Tom.
Put him on, Lisa, will you?
Hello, Mr. Hill.
Hello, Gregor.
I have decided. You ready?
Fine, when you are.
Knight to King's Bishop 3.
Knight to King's Bishop 3. Thank you, Gregor. Out. $20 time for a drink. Not that there's any difference between 1 hour and another on this wretched planet. New video cassettes in yet, are they?
No, they didn't arrive in the last shuttle.
That's all I need.
It's the first time they've forgotten.
They must have a strange idea of us, you know. Here we are, dedicated. That's the word, dedicated. Bored to death. But we don't need any entertainment, do we? Because we're dedicated.
Precisely, my dear Tom. And when they do decide to send us a visitor, they don't send us Miss World or even the runner-up. They send us an octogenarian scientist.
I know, let's try the old steam radio. Yeah, sunspots.
And who was it who said they don't write songs like that anymore?
Me, for one, thank God.
Now a trip down memory lane.
Do turn it
And this
off.
time for
Oh,
you
we've got to
and
have
the
some
city.
entertainment, Alan.
From 14 St. Margaret's Avenue, Brinton on Sea. And it's with much love to the neighbours down at Margaret
please.
Avenue, and especially your very good friend Bessie.
And Bruno, Paula, Si, all of you, please. Something that I wanted to say. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Sir Benjamin Dyce is one of the great scientists of the last century, and I want him treated that way.
Well, I don't think anybody's...
I've heard remarks about the idea of sending old-age pensioners up to the moon to save the cost of keeping them in homes on Earth. Now, that sort of thing, you know. Well, I don't like that attitude. I won't stand for it. You understand?
Understood.
See, I suspect that one of the reasons he's here is because he just still is a very influential man. He's been leading the campaign against the Arctic Sun project. Now, you know what that means? Now that the United States has officially gone in with the Russians, it makes Dyce the open opponent of his own employers. But the moment he arrives here, he's an honored guest. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir?
Calder.
Yes, sir.
Sir Benjamin Dyce has just landed. Reception party to my office, please.
I've never known him take so much trouble over a visitor before.
I think polite arrogance is what's called for. Like one of the Victorian explorers meeting a cannibal king.
No, just because he's extremely old, we mustn't make him think that he's at least 6 generations of scientists behind us. We must cultivate a sort of informal civility.
And this is Dr. Helen Smith.
I've always doubted if women have any useful place in science.
I don't think Pierre Curie would have agreed with you.
The man was a fool.
I beg your pardon.
Any man who is so careless to the material he's researching is to die from it. Tell me, Dr. Smith, what is your work here?
I'm the psychiatrist.
And you find conditions here conducive to interesting cases?
One could say that living here was living under stress conditions the whole time. It is likely to create behavior problems if people are deliberately offensive.
This woman's worth the rest of you put together.
About the Arctic Sun project.
What about it?
Well, we've heard of your opposition to it.
Yes.
Well, we're very isolated here, you know, obsessed with our own activities. What is your main objection?
It will destroy all life on the planet Earth. Now, when are you going to show me the work you've been doing on this moon base of yours? That's the only excuse I have for being here.
Now, if you like.
Good.
Why the festivities?
It's for Michelle. It's Bastille Day.
Ah.
Hello, Helen. Hello, Lily. Can you put
You look terrible. I have had 1 hour, 22 minutes with the professor.
I'll mix you a drink.
Thanks. He carefully explained why the work I have been doing for the last 7 months was useless.
And was he right?
I don't know yet.
The 14th of July. And in Paris there will be singing and dancing in the streets and lots of wine. And here we celebrate with reconstituted calf's liver, synthetic potato, and H14, a local lunar vegetable so disgusting that nobody's ever bothered to give it a name.
Well, at least there's wine, Michelle.
Oh, yes, of course. You mustn't forget the wine. Chateau Mouton Calder. Add 2 packets of purple powder to 5 liters of recycled effluent and stir. I wouldn't find it all so revolting if I didn't know how it was made. But still, out there it's different. Out there it really is le 14.
We have the habit of an informal drink before dinner.
And, what is this?
The French flag. Because today on Earth they are celebrating the 14th of July.
Look out there, all of you. What do you see?
The Earth.
And can you see your beloved France?
Oh, yes, not clearly.
And
but...
can you see where France stops, and Germany, Switzerland, or anywhere else starts?
Well, not with the naked
You
eye.
cannot see that if the soil is as close to your face as this meaningless bit of cloth. It is only on maps that the color of one country is different from the color of the next.
There is nothing wrong with a man being proud of his own
There is
country.
everything wrong with it. It is because of people like you, obsessed with national pride, that we are stuck with brilliant. I can say that because it was my idea in the first place, back in the 60s, with brilliant but misguided projects like the Arctic Sun. Am I not going to be offered a drink?
Oh, of course.
Permit me.
The Arctic Sun. Put a controlled nuclear fusion device into orbit over the Arctic. A tame hydrogen bomb that will keep on burning like the sun. Then we can melt the ice. Millions upon millions of square miles of land, now no use to anybody, will become the new Garden of Eden. Is my drink not ready yet?
Yes, sir. Is whiskey all right?
It's only seemly to have something ready to toast the suicide of the human race. Where was I?
The new Garden of Eden.
Ah, yes. Of course, when I suggested, all those who were older and wiser than I was said it was impossible. But I'm not a fool. I had done my calculations to prove its feasibility.
And then there were the protests that the melting of the ice
Would cause massive flooding in areas like the British Isles, parts of Siberia, Holland, and so on. Am I explaining this, or are you?
I'm sorry.
I proved, beyond the shadow of doubt, that the loss of land and the cost was insignificant compared with the new land that would be gained. For the first time, man would know that his children need never go hungry. It was at that point that they patted me on the head and told me to forget all about it. So I returned to my serious work, for which they eventually awarded me with a Nobel Prize.
What made you change your mind?
Of course, I should have realized what was happening when they pulled me out of my sheltered cloister at Trinity and thrust me into the concrete and plastic zoo in America.
Plastic zoo?
Oh, they called it the University of San Diego. Who should be there but Boris Chuikov from the Moscow Academy? The Arctic Sun was to be a joint American-Russian project.
Why did that make it so undesirable?
Nations represent human beings to the factor of X. An error of judgment by an individual becomes a cosmic blunder by a nation.
But, Sir Benjamin, a brilliant and audacious scientific idea, your own idea, is about to be given practical expression. Now, what is so wrong in that?
It was one evening. Boris and I went to our rooms with the latest calculations from the computers. At first, I could not accept what they meant. It is brutal for an old man to realize that the one real fruit of his mind is corrupt. I went to Boris's room. I didn't have to say a word. I could tell from his face he had realized what I had realized. I tried to tell them in America. Boris went back to Russia to tell them. We hadn't much time. Nobody would listen. Not in America, not in Russia, nowhere. The sound of the national anthems drowned what we were trying to say. Last week, I heard that Boris was dead. A heart attack, they said. The Russians are very discreet about suicide.
But what did you find? There's been nothing in any scientific paper we've seen. Only the old arguments about flooding.
Oh, no, they wouldn't publish the new arguments. It was considered much too dangerous. It might cause unjustified alarm. It might even discredit the national leaders.
But, Sir Benjamin, what made you and Chuikov decide?
It is all a matter of where they must effect this fusion. 47,000 meters of upper point, 113 degrees, 7 minutes west, 79 degrees, 2 minutes north. That is the point at which we achieve the required balance, so that the new sun melts the ice no faster and no slower than we have calculated. It is also very nearly above the magnetic pole, where, as you know, the magnetosphere is minimal. My assessment, Boris's assessment too, is that the fusion will not be contained. What will happen is that they will explode a hydrogen bomb above the weakest point in the Earth's armor. It will set up a chain reaction of the hydrogen in the atmosphere. The air itself will combust. And man will have destroyed his own planet.
Well, I can say without fear of contradiction, that was the most depressing Bastille Day dinner that I shall ever eat.
Well, I found it almost a relief. Oh, the silence, I mean, after he finished telling us.
Your own friendly neighborhood harbinger of doom.
I wonder how he'll take it. Take what? When nothing happens. An old man with a fixation and intelligence enough to recognize what's happening when its basis is disproved. You know, that's the most appalling thing about him. He really had a wonderful mind once.
He still has. He's just mad, that's all.
Oh, no, I adore the double concerto.
No, the satellite must have gone on the blink again. Perhaps one day they'll provide us with a new one. Try the video.
Yes, Tom.
David, I'm sorry to bother you, but could you come over to the control center at once, please? Something rather odd's cropped up.
Be right with you.
You know, it looks like the whole circuit's on the blink, not just the satellite.
Marvelous, isn't it? We live in the miracle age of technology, and we can't even get the video or the radio to work. And we find ourselves drinking this.
Oh.
What's the matter?
I don't know. Suddenly, all this equipment went dead.
Well, that's working all right.
Yeah, all the stuff that's lunar-based, lunar-powered, that's working normally, but it's just the rest of it.
Well, maybe we've had a main power unit go.
No, then one of the emergency generators would have come on. It would have registered there. It's all the equipment that relates to the Earth.
But if one of the satellites failed?
No, I've scanned all the satellites. It makes no difference.
Well, how long ago did this happen?
Just before I called you.
When they stopped, did they stop suddenly, or was there a moment or two while they ran down, as it were?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't watching. I was thinking about chess. I just noticed the sound had stopped. Then when I checked the visual circuits, I found something else. Take a look at that.
Well, I don't see anything different about that.
Well, look again, David.
Yes, a faint haze. A solar flare, perhaps?
Or something's happening to the atmosphere. It's as though the Earth was dead.
Come on. You can't think that...
David, there is a way we can check whether the trouble's here or on the Earth.
Hmm?
We can ask the other moon bases. They have separate contacts, quite independent from us. If they're working normally, the trouble's here and there's not all that much to worry about. I could do that right away.
Yes.
I'll get hold of Semenov. He sleeps by his control desk.
Yes, Tom?
Oh, Lisa, could you get me Semenov and Lunakaya, please?
Right away.
One thing. Don't give them the impression there's anything wrong here. Don't want them to think we can't run our own business.
Hello, Mr. Here.
Hello, Gregor. About that chess game. You're running out of time, you know.
Oh, yes, the chess game. King to rook 2.
King to rook 2. Fine. Oh, everything okay with you, is it?
Of course, why should it not be?
Oh, no reason. You're just up rather late, that's all.
So are you.
Yeah, true. Well, if everything's okay, then.
Everything is fine.
Good night, Gregor.
Good night.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
To bed. I'll leave you to your checking, Tom.
Good night, David.
Good night.
I dream of food now. Food and women, in that order.
Tell me, Helen, what do you dream of? Oh, didn't you know? Psychiatrists don't dream. They have a specially built-in filter mechanism to reject dreams.
Well, they know what the dreams mean, so they'd worry themselves to death, huh?
Morning.
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 David, could I have a word with you, please?
Yeah, of course. What is it?
Last night, when you'd left, I realized something.
What?
Well, after I'd spoken to Semenov, I made his chess move.
So?
Well, he moved into check. He'd never do that normally. He just wasn't concentrating.
But how does that all...
Well, after it worried me a bit, so I took a moon buggy over to Lunakaya.
Yeah?
They have got the same trouble.
I see.
The same time it happened to us, they lost all contact with the Earth.
Why the hell didn't they tell us?
Same reason we didn't. Patriotic pride.
Yeah.
So then Semenov and I went over to the Americans at Moonbase 1. First they wouldn't let us in, said something about trouble at the port of entry, pressurization. I tried to bluff it out.
Hmm?
Anyway, we finally did get in.
And
when we got to the control center, dead as a dodo. Whatever is happening, it's not here. It's on the Earth.
Just listen to me for a minute, will you? We seem to have a problem. I was hoping it could be fixed without making it public, but unfortunately it hasn't been fixed. Now, as you know, last night, Sir Benjamin Dice proposed a rather wild idea. That the Arctic Sun project would, in effect, burn up the atmosphere and kill off all life on Earth. Now, by a coincidence, soon after the time that he was telling us that there would be this cataclysm, we lost all communication with Earth.
Last night. The radio? It stopped working.
Now, we have no reason to believe that this is anything more than a coincidence. But until we can re-establish normal links, I don't want to cause unnecessary alarm, and I don't want anybody outside this room to know. We can expect that everything will be restored any minute. But until then, I'm relying on all you to help me. I should explain that all the other moon bases are experiencing the same interference, but obviously, when the authorities on Earth find out what is causing this, everything will return to normal.
Normal, Director. Look. got the last club.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You played the 5 on my queen. Come on, my sweet, admit it.
Oh, take your hands off me.
Shut up, both of you.
All the time he's pawing at me.
What's bothering
I
you?
said shut up. I'm not worried about your
leave
bickering.
me alone.
Just look at that and stop quarreling. You expected this, didn't you?
Yes,
And you didn't do anything.
I did what I could.
Oh, damn it, man. You're a Nobel Prize winner. You're Sir Benjamin Dice. You could have stopped...
Michelle.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Please? Shall we start the game again?
Well, there it is.
What's the result?
Well, with your approval, I'd like to start reducing the oxygen content of the base tomorrow. It won't really be noticeable if I take it down to, say, the equivalent of living at 2,000 meters on the Earth.
Here.
And that should see us out. There's no problem with the fuel. It's the food that worries me the most.
There aren't going to be any other supplies.
Well, there's no alternative. Now, if we ration what we've already got, it should last us 3 or 4 weeks.
What about the other bases?
Well, they're roughly the same. The Americans and the Russians are shade better off. The others are shade worse. There's not much in it.
That's the position.
3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, what does a week or two matter?
Now, the next question is, when are the other people on this base to be told?
I can't answer for how they'll react, but I think it would be better if you told them as soon as possible.
Apart from anything else, as soon as they feel the full effects of the change in the atmosphere, they're bound to start asking questions.
I think it more honest to tell them.
Right? Do you all agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to tell them immediately anyway, but I'm very glad that you all feel the way that you do. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir?
This is David Calder. Would you get me every internal line, please?
Go ahead, sir.
This is the director. I have something important to say to you. Many of you have commented on the appearance of the Earth. A notice from Space Control went up on the boards to say that this was due to freak atmospheric conditions. Well, I have to tell you now that that message did not come from the authorities on Earth, and I'm sorry to say that it is not true. It would appear that last night, lunar time, a project called Arctic Sun was initiated. Now, despite the warnings of a small group of very distinguished scientists, including Sir Benjamin Dice, that this would prove very dangerous, the project went ahead. Now, as far as we can learn, when the fusion was set off, a chain reaction started of all the hydrogen in the Earth's atmosphere, and, well, we can't be exactly sure what took place, but now we must assume that the Earth is a dead planet. We have enough oxygen and food to last for several weeks, but, well, after that, we must assume that there will be no more supplies. And so I ask you all to understand and, well, we will all need each other's comradeship. We will do what we have to do. And when that time comes, may God have mercy on us all.
surprised you're still up.
Didn't see much point in sleeping.
Can't see much point in staying awake.
No. Tom?
Yeah?
I've been thinking about the time when...
It stops.
Yeah. You see, I don't see the point in gradually cutting down the rations like people in a lifeboat. Not when...
When there's nobody.
Exactly. So I think the best thing that we can do is to maintain normal rations and normal oxygen balance as long as we can, and then, well, how do we do it?
Well, I could introduce carbon monoxide into the atmosphere. Gradually. Over a few hours. It's easy enough. We just get sleepier and sleepier.
Good. Oh, and if you could work out how long we can maintain normal rations and...
I've already done so.
So little time.
Bruno, what on earth do you think you're doing?
I brought you a drink. Strega, my personal supply.
Bruno, it's late and I must get my sleep.
Sleep? Why waste time? Sleeping for? You get all the sleep you want soon. We all will.
Look, I'm sorry, but you must go.
Just one, huh? Just one. Medicinal purposes.
All right, just one, and then off you go, eh?
Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die.
Come in. Yes?
Sir, I would like to know when exactly you propose to kill us.
You're drunk.
No more than most people on the base, but yes, I'm drunk.
And go to bed. I'll speak to you in the morning.
I will go when you've answered my question, sir.
I've already told you that we have supplies...
With respect, sir, that is not what I asked you. I assume that at some stage you will have decided that we will all be poisoned, or whatever you think best. I'm just asking, with respect, to be told when.
Even if what you think is correct, and I'm not saying that it is, I have no intention of telling you or anybody else.
I have the right to know, sir.
Go and sleep it off. I'll speak to you in the morning.
Shall I tell you why I have the right to know, sir?
You're in no state to tell anybody anything.
Because I'm going to take my share. Nobody else's, just my share. All the food, all the drink that is rightly mine, and I'm going to get so drunk. And then I'm going to kill myself.
Oh, now, you listen to me.
No, you listen to me. Dear God, I've listened to you often enough. You've told me when I work, when I sleep, when I eat, when I go and leave, everything. But there's one thing you're not going to decide. You are not going to decide when I die. Do you understand that, Dr. Calder, sir? I have the right to that decision, not you. Who the hell do you think you are? You're not God Almighty.
I am the director of this base. Now go to bed, and that's an order.
An order? You stand there when the entire Earth is dead. And everybody who put you where you are, they're dead. And the whole stupid, silly base is collapsing around you, and you say, you're the director. You give orders. Well, let me tell you something. If you kill us, and don't eat or drink whatever it is yourself, you'll be the only man left alive. Have you thought of that? You can stand out there alone and shout out to God. Right now, there's just you and me. Do you know something else? You'll try to give orders to God.
We'll discuss all this in the morning.
I believe in God, you see. At least I was brought up to it. It's the sin against the Holy Ghost. Despair. Despair of salvation. Did you know that?
Yes.
Well, it's not as if... Well, it isn't a sin, is it? Despair. When there's no hope.
David, please come quickly. Please come quick.
Bruno! Bruno, no!
No!
Shut up a minute, can you? Look, what happened to me? Women are the same. Like that bitch Paula. You lead them on and then nothing.
No!
Suppose I'm not good enough, huh? Single members only, is that it? If I were Michelle LeBrun, huh? Oh, you're precious! Come! No! What the hell do you think you're doing?
Well, sir, we're just having a drink.
Get to your quarters. I'll deal with you in the morning.
And just what do you think you'll do to me then, huh?
Get to your quarters. I'll deal with you in the morning. Do as I say.
Morning.
Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
I want a word with you all. Last night we had a little trouble. Fortunately, nothing very serious happened. A member of staff has apologized, and so the incident is now closed. But you must all realize that we're going to be under great strain from now on. It's up to the senior members of staff to set an example. Tom.
Yeah?
You haven't shaved.
Sorry?
Bruno, you look more like a plumber than a scientist. We will continue to live and work exactly as we've always done.
We will all whistle Rule Britannia as the ship goes down.
Oh, you mentioned that you've done some work on photosynthesis. I would like to see it.
Of course, after breakfast.
David. I've got an idea. What Bruno said about the ship going down.
I thought he'd better that I didn't hear that.
No, but we've got a ship. We can go down to Earth. With the lunar shuttle.
But that's not designed for a moon-Earth trip. It wouldn't stand re-entry
No,
into
but we
the
can
Earth.
rig up some sort of a heat shield.
See you in my office.
If we use the minimum possible fuel for liftoff. I mean, take a risk, it's worth it. We might...
Two irresponsible children still planning this scatterbrain idiocy.
Sir Benjamin, with all
you
due
are
respect,
intellectual
sir.
incontinence. Ideas dribble from you without either volition or control.
I realize that whoever goes on this trip will
Will
probably
die. Do you still boggle at the idea? And of course they will die. Everybody will die. That is not the point.
Then what is the point?
The point is that you'll be giving those left on this base hope.
Well, is that so bad?
When men give up all hope of living, they accept death and become gentle. But once you allow them to hope, then envy, anxiety, and fear nurture their will to survive. They will become desperate enough to destroy each other and to destroy you.
I still think it is my duty to try to contact Earth.
May I ask you something else?
Of course.
We are, as you say, all that is left, but we are more than that. Man, in a typically childish way, has set fire to his own blue touch paper and failed to stand well back. So we here are the sole repository of human experience.
I suppose we are, yes.
There is one last thing that we must do. We must record, as far as we can, all that our species has achieved. Such knowledge as we can collate and remember must be recorded so that it can be useful one day to whoever finds it.
What we don't record will be lost for eternity. I can imagine no greater responsibility. And we'll need someone to make the trip. With the power available, that load has got to be just one man.
I'll go.
We need you here. As you've made a point in observing in the past, you're the only one who knows the plumbing.
But you'll need somebody with basic astronaut training.
I have such training. Please? Should like very much to be the one to go.
Very good. Now, I don't know whether you'll reach Earth or what you'll find there. But if there is a future for us, it's in your hands.
What's the verdict, Jose?
She's ready to roll.
You happy about the port stabilizer?
Oh, good for another 50 pips, mister, here.
One'll do. Right. All we need now is the pilot and we're in business. Anyone know what's happened to Bruno?
He left the soothing up room some moments ago. He should be with you by now.
Yeah, well, he's not.
I'll check up on it, Tom.
What's up?
It's Bruno. He's managed to lose himself between the airlock and the shuttle. I'm going out to help look for him.
All right, Michelle. Michelle?
What?
Looks like we've got an emergency on our hands.
Apart from the end of the world. What a bore.
Bruno! 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 Bruno!
No need to shout, my friend. If he hasn't switched off, you'll hear a whisper.
Let's try over there. Bruno? 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 There he is. Hello, Moonbase. It's okay, we found him.
Copy, Tom. He'd better get his skates on.
What's he doing there?
Could be sitting this one out.
Maybe.
Bruno? 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 Well, old son, a fine dance you've led us.
I can't. Can't? Can't what?
It would be like blowing out my own brains. I couldn't pull the trigger.
So that's it.
I'm sorry, Tom. I can't go.
won't have to.
Ignition. Lift off, Michelle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Radar lock on.
Copy.
You're looking good.
Good luck, Michelle.
Altitude
It's
500
ironic,
meters.
isn't it?
Trajectory
Man's last journey is back to his own planet.
Known as the special theory of relativity, which, though somewhat simplistic, paved the way for the sophisticated hypotheses of Chun-Seng, who, in 1989, postulated the revolutionary
The atmosphere of the planet Earth was made up of a mixture of gases in the ratio of 20% oxygen, 78% nitrogen.
Beethoven's later works, although he was deaf, have great complexity, but simple themes. For example, the late quartet opus number 132, 133, and 13... No. What does it matter which number it is? No one will ever hear them again. Beethoven died in 1827. Any news from Michel?
He's on course, Paula. Feeling fine.
Of all the stupid ideas I've heard since I've been here, that is the most idiotic.
The last flicker of the human desire to explore the unknown.
The Icarus syndrome. People dream of what he tried to do and never thought about what happened to him. I've always held that the last words of mankind will not be the secret name of God, but what is this knob for?
Human beings were different from the other animals. They were the only animals who would kill when they were neither hungry nor sexually jealous. But they were also capable of love. I don't know how I can describe love. Calder.
David, the shuttle is just about at entry interface with the Earth's atmosphere. I'm going to try and re-establish contact.
Be right over.
Moonbase 3 to shuttle. Do you copy? Moonbase to shuttle. Do you copy? Shuttle, do you copy? Shuttle, do you copy? Moonbase 3.
Shuttle to Moonbase, I copy.
This is David. What does it look like?
Moonbase, only closer.
Try showing us on video, Michelle. See if I can get a picture.
Copy, Tom.
I have a picture. Do you copy, Michelle? I have a picture.
Copy you, Tom. Not too pretty, is it? Wonder what's down there.
We may lose contact as you enter the atmosphere. Just wanted to wish you good luck, Michelle.
Seems to be getting a sudden heat build-up. Not sure whether you shouldn't switch with the manual.
That's it. All the monitoring circuits are dead.
Give ourselves another 24 hours. 2,100 hours tomorrow.
Yeah.
It'll be easier. Staff are expecting another week or so.
I've got everything ready. We'll just feel sleepy, go to bed, and we won't wake up.
2,100 hours, then. Thanks, Tom. I must be losing my critical faculties. That meal was almost enjoyable. And I deserve something, too. I spent the afternoon telling my tape recorder about the pyramids. And not just the mathematical implications, but the whole Egyptian cult of the dead.
Oh. Let's have some more wine.
Surely. Yes. Why not, eh?
Well, I only hope those giant ants from another galaxy that we've gone to all this trouble for, I only hope they know enough to switch on playback first and not just wipe out all our efforts by pushing record.
Well, let's hope they know about electricity.
Yes. A little cloudy, perhaps.
Oh.
Like a bad beetroot soup. As Michelle would say, its bouquet reveals its place of origin.
Oh,
David. Excuse me, Willie. I'm just going over to my place to check a few things.
Tell me, Professor Dice, do you really think there'll be anything to learn from all our notes and pictures and recordings?
There will certainly be something to find them. It may take a few million years, but it would be gross arrogance to assume that only man is capable of interplanetary flight.
So then it really is worth trying.
Oh, yes. Though I suppose the odds are that whatever finds our vestiges will be incomparably more developed than we are. Our little jottings will seem as inexplicable to them as the motives of lichen are to us.
No. I visualize my tape being found by a beautiful lady from Arcturus or Cassiopeia. You know, like a Miss World, only pretty. Everything we like in women, she will have 2 of.
Oh. And the things?
And the things we like best, she will have 4. Clasp my tape to a bosom and sail among the stars.
Contestants who are going to win this week's golden handshake. So let's meet our first contestant. Let's meet Mr. Edward Hopkins. Now, Mr. Hopkins, what subject have you chosen to try to win this week's golden handshake?
It was left out. I left it on last night for music night. It's a lie.
I would like to happened? I mean the fear, you know what I mean. Not the fear that goes out to sea. So, Edward, how do you spell fear? Fear is absolutely right so far. Take it easy, Edward.
The systems, they're starting to work again.
What's happened,
I heard somebody sending our call sign. It was Michelle. He's got through. I've just been talking to her. It's intermittent, love. Go ahead, Michelle. Tell us.
Is everything all right down there?
Oh, yes, fine now. There's been the most extraordinary drop in temperature. They recorded minus 20 degrees in Bruxelles. What happened, apparently?
We've lost him.
Don't worry. I think I understand. I think so.
What?
It didn't burn up the hydrogen in the atmosphere. It was an uncontained reaction, all right, but the particles must have interacted with the geocorona.
Oh, please, what are you saying? Is it all right or isn't it?
In the upper atmosphere, that would produce a belt of ionized gas, which would produce a complete shield all round the Earth. No light, very little heat, and certainly no radio waves could get
But you saw
through
what it looked like.
Yes. That was the sun's radiation reflected back. It looked as though it had all exploded. The atmosphere, I mean, but there was no explosion.
So by now, the particles of the fusion will be dispersing. I mean, well, the Earth will have heat. Life will go on as usual.
You were wrong, weren't you, eh? Thank God you were wrong.
Yes, I was wrong. Any man can make a mistake. But mankind, now mankind cannot be allowed one single mistake.